Have you ever wondered why some people can walk into a room, say nothing, and yet everyone notices them? It's not beauty, it's not power, it's presence. That quiet weight that makes people lean in. Not because they're loud, but because they don't need to be. We live in a world that rewards noise. Everyone's talking, shouting, performing, but very few have something real to say. And here's the paradox. The more you try to be liked, the less magnetic you become. The more you try to prove yourself, the more insecurity you reveal. It's only when you stop chasing attention, when you speak less and observe more, that people start to respect you. In this episode, we'll uncover 6 simple words, 6 timeless Stoic principles that can make anyone naturally drawn to you. Not through manipulation or charm, but through calm confidence and inner control. By the end, I'll share the final word, the one Marcus Aurelius used to silence an entire court with nothing but his presence. When you understand that word, you'll realize true attraction has nothing to do with appearance or speech. It's about energy, the kind of quiet strength that can't be faked. Modern life has made connection easier and understanding harder. We text faster, talk louder, and scroll endlessly through conversations that mean less and less. Everyone wants to be heard, but few want to listen. Everyone wants to attract others, but almost no one knows how to build genuine presence. This is where Stoicism becomes more than philosophy. It becomes a guide. Because long before social media, before the noise of the modern world, the Stoics already understood one essential truth. We cannot control how others see us. We can only control the energy we bring into every moment. When Marcus Aurelius wrote Meditations alone in his tent, he wasn't seeking fame. He was trying to master himself, to remain calm amid chaos. Seneca taught that our words lose meaning when they aren't grounded in restraint. Epictetus reminded us that silence, not speech, reveals strength. So what if the secret to being magnetic in relationships, in work, in any room you walk into, isn't about impressing others, but mastering yourself first? That's the journey we're taking in this episode. You'll discover 6 words, each representing a Stoic discipline that quietly change how others perceive you. These words aren't tricks or self-help slogans. They are principles that redefine attraction at its core. Because when you embody calm, you stand out in a world of panic. When you show control, people trust you. When you speak with clarity, you command attention. When you are fully present, others feel safe around you. When you set boundaries, you earn respect. And when you master silence, the rarest quality of all, you become unforgettable. We'll explore these 6 words one by one, not as mere vocabulary, but as tools for inner transformation. Each word will help you remove one layer of noise, fear, or pretense that clouds your presence. By the end of this journey, you'll see that attraction isn't something you earn. It's something you radiate when your inner state is aligned. When your actions speak louder than your words. So take a breath. Forget what you've been told about charisma or confidence. Let's step into the ancient wisdom that modern life forgot and learn the 6 words that can change how people see you and how you see yourself. In a noisy world, calm is power. Think about it. Everywhere you go, people rush to speak, to argue, to defend themselves. But once in a while, you meet someone who doesn't compete for attention. They pause before they speak. They look you in the eye with quiet steadiness. And in that stillness, you feel something rare. Authority without aggression. Calm doesn't mean you don't care. It means you choose what deserves your energy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are disturbed by anything external, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it." That single line holds a lifetime of wisdom. The problem isn't what happens to you. It's how you decide to interpret it. When you remain calm under pressure, you show people that you cannot be easily shaken. You radiate confidence without ever needing to announce it. And people instinctively gravitate toward that energy, because calmness feels like safety in a world that's constantly on fire. Being calm doesn't come from pretending. It comes from practice, from learning to pause between stimulus and response. In that pause lies your freedom. Calmness is not the absence of motion. It's the mastery of it. The Stoics understood that storms outside reveal the storms within. If you stay centered while others lose balance, you become a mirror showing them what composure truly looks like. Train your calm like a muscle. Start with the smallest triggers, the rude driver, the delayed message, the colleague's careless remark. Each is a tiny invitation to practice detachment. When your heart wants to rush, slow it down. When your mind wants to react, observe instead. Soon, calm won't be something you do, it'll be who you are. Because calm people are magnetic. They listen when others shout. They respond when others explode. And the paradox is, the quieter you become, the more power your words carry. But calm alone isn't enough. There's a deeper discipline behind it: control. Calm is the surface of the water. Control is the depth beneath. Control doesn't mean suppressing emotion or pretending you're unaffected. It means governing yourself when life provokes you. Every day, the world tests your boundaries. Someone criticizes you unfairly. A plan falls apart. A friend disappoints you. You can't stop these events, but you can stop them from ruining your peace. Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. To live that truth is to reclaim freedom." Control begins the moment you decide that no one else dictates your mood. Control isn't about tightening your fists around life. It's about loosening your need to dominate what was never yours to command. You can't control the weather, the market, or the emotions of other people. But you can control the tone of your response, the steadiness of your breath, and the direction of your attention. The Stoics called this dichotomy of control, separating what's within our power from what isn't. Once you master this, stress begins to lose its grip, because you finally stop fighting battles that were never meant to be won. When someone insults you, their words belong to them, not to you. When a plan fails, it's the universe adjusting your path, not punishing you. And when people disappoint you, that's not chaos, it's clarity, a chance to see who they truly are. People who lack control explode quickly and regret endlessly. Those who have control pause briefly and act intentionally. That single difference can change the course of your relationships, your career, even your peace of mind. So here's the practice. When you feel anger rise, do nothing for 10 seconds, breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? If it isn't, walk away with your calm intact. That restraint, that moment of inner choice, that's real strength. The one who controls himself is never truly controlled by the world. People sense it. They may not be able to explain why, but they feel it. They can argue with your ideas, but they can't shake your composure, and that unsettles them more than anger ever could. Control isn't about pretending nothing affects you. It's about recognizing what deserves a reaction and what doesn't. The truth is, most things don't. Not every opinion needs your defense. Not every insult requires your energy. You preserve your power by choosing where to spend it. Imagine a fire. If you feed it every spark, it grows wild and consumes you. But if you tend it with discipline, it becomes warmth, focused, useful, alive. That's what control feels like. When you master control, your presence changes. Your tone steadies. Your eyes stop darting for approval. And suddenly, people listen differently. They can feel that you mean what you say, because you don't speak out of impulse, but to communicate that inner steadiness. You need something else, clarity. Because calm and control without clarity can turn into silence without purpose. Clarity gives direction to your stillness. It turns discipline into influence. Clarity is the quiet confidence that replaces confusion with direction. It's not about knowing everything. It's about knowing what matters. Look around. So many people speak endlessly, hoping to sound intelligent. But the more they talk, the less we understand them. Because clarity doesn't come from more words. It comes from fewer, but truer ones. Epictetus once said, "Let what you say be simply yes or no." It wasn't about being cold or rigid. It was about integrity. When your words are aligned with your thoughts, people feel your truth, not just hear it. Clarity also means emotional transparency. It's the courage to say, "I don't know," when you truly don't. To admit, "I need time," when you're uncertain. The modern world rewards quick answers, but wisdom often comes from thoughtful silence. Think about how rare it is to meet someone who speaks with precision, not to impress, but to express. Their tone is calm. Their message is clean. You walk away from the conversation feeling lighter, not heavier. That's clarity. It doesn't confuse. It clears the fog around you. The Stoics valued clarity because it's the voice of order in a chaotic world. When your mind is scattered, your speech follows. When your mind is still, your message lands. Clarity, then, is more than communication. It's a reflection of how clearly you think and how peacefully you live. Clarity in speech begins with clarity in thought. You can't express what you haven't processed. That's why the Stoics journaled daily, not to sound poetic, but to think clearly before they spoke. Seneca once wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Without clarity, even the strongest effort is wasted. In today's world, most people react before they reflect. They reply before they understand. They post before they think. And that's why so many conversations lead nowhere. They are noise without substance. To live with clarity, slow down your words. Speak only when what you're about to say can add value, not just fill silence. Ask yourself before you speak, is this true? Is this necessary? Is this kind? These questions act as filters, turning raw emotion into refined wisdom. When you speak clearly, people begin to trust your voice. They know that when you talk, it matters. Your words gain weight because they're anchored in thought, not impulse. And this trust is magnetic. It draws others in, not because you're perfect, but because you're precise. But there's another layer of clarity, one deeper than speech: presence. Because even the clearest words lose meaning if you're not truly there when you speak them. Clarity sharpens your message. Presence gives it life. Presence is the art of being fully here. Body, mind, and attention aligned in one single moment. It sounds simple, yet in the modern world, it has become one of the rarest forms of power. We live in an age of divided minds. People listen with half an ear while scrolling their phones. They nod while thinking about their next reply. They look, but they don't see. To be present is to reverse that. To give someone the gift of your full attention in a world starved of it. When you are truly present, you make others feel seen, heard, and valued. And that feeling, more than charm or appearance, is what makes people remember you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He didn't mean ignore the future or deny the past. He meant live where life is actually happening, now. Because every moment you lose to distraction is a moment you never get back. Presence isn't a skill you learn once. It's a practice, something you rebuild every time your mind drifts away. When you notice yourself slipping into thoughts of yesterday or fears of tomorrow, gently return. Return to your breath. Return to the sound of another person's voice. Return to this very instant. That simple act of returning is presence. and it carries more silent strength than 1,000 loud words. Presence changes everything, not because it makes you louder, but because it makes you real. When you're present, people can sense it. They feel your attention before you even speak. You become the calm in the storm, the still point others unconsciously anchor to in conversation. Presence is the difference between listening and waiting to reply. It's choosing to understand, not to win. It's letting silence breathe instead of rushing to fill it. Because silence, when paired with attention, becomes connection. At work, presence builds trust. When your focus is undivided, people sense your reliability. You're not just there, you're engaged. And that's magnetic in a world full of distracted minds. But being present also means you must choose where to place your presence. Not everyone deserves all of you. If you give your time, energy, and empathy to everyone, you'll end up drained, half alive in every direction. That's why the next Stoic word matters so much. Boundaries. Presence without boundaries becomes sacrifice. Boundaries protect the peace that presence creates. Seneca once said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." The Stoics were selective, not cold. They gave their time wisely, because they knew every moment spent on the wrong thing was a debt to the right one. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors you choose when and how to open. In a culture that glorifies endless availability, constant messages, endless favors, instant replies, saying no can feel like rebellion. But to the Stoics, it wasn't rebellion. It was wisdom. Seneca warned, if you would be loved, love yourself first. And loving yourself begins with protecting your peace. Boundaries don't make you distant. They make you clear. They tell the world what you value and what you refuse to trade for validation. When you constantly say yes to others, you slowly say no to yourself. And over time, your mind, your time, and your spirit begin to erode under the weight of everyone else's expectations. Setting boundaries isn't about being cold. It's about being conscious, deciding where your energy belongs. It's telling yourself, not every fight deserves my fire. Not every person deserves my access. The Stoics didn't chase every argument or attend every drama. They saved their strength for what mattered. They knew that saying no to noise is saying yes to meaning. So start with this. Define what drains you and step away from it. You owe no explanation for choosing peace. Boundaries are not selfish. They are self-respect in motion, and when you enforce them calmly, not defensively, something powerful happens. People stop testing your limits and start respecting them. Boundaries are the quiet architecture of inner peace. They define where you end and where the world begins. Without them, you're easily pulled into every storm, every argument, every demand, every emotional current that isn't yours to carry. In the modern world, many confuse kindness with compliance. They think being a good person means always being available, always saying yes, always understanding. But the Stoics would call that emotional slavery, the kind that drains your soul in the name of pleasing others. Real kindness requires limits. When you protect your time and energy, your presence becomes meaningful again. Because what is rare becomes valuable. When you say yes less often, your yes regains weight. Boundaries also apply to thoughts. You don't have to host every worry that knocks on your mind's door. Some thoughts are just noise dressed as responsibility. You can acknowledge them, then let them pass. This is the subtle power of boundaries. They don't push people away. They pull your peace closer. And once you've built that peace, there's one final discipline that elevates it. The last and most powerful Stoic word, silence. Silence is not emptiness. It's energy contained. It's where all your calm, control, clarity, presence, and boundaries converge into strength that doesn't need to shout. Silence is not the absence of voice. It's the presence of power. In a world that fears quiet, the one who can stay silent commands the room without saying a word. Seneca once said, "To be silent at the right time is the art of wisdom." Because silence is not withdrawal, it's choice, it's restraint, the decision to let noise reveal itself. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you reclaim your dignity. When you no longer need to respond to every provocation, you become untouchable. People expect reactions. Your silence forces reflection. It makes them see themselves more clearly. Sometimes, for the first time, silence also sharpens perception. You begin to hear what others miss, the tone behind their words, the motive behind their actions, the truth behind the mask. And in that awareness, you gain control without control, the effortless kind that Stoics lived by. But silence isn't only about others. It's about meeting yourself. In silence, your thoughts stop performing, your emotions settle, and your real voice, the one beneath all noise, begins to speak. That's why Marcus Aurelius found peace even as an emperor surrounded by chaos. He knew the loudest battles are fought in quiet rooms, inside the mind. So, practice being silent, not to escape, but as mastery. Let silence be your teacher, your armor, and your statement. Because in the end, the most magnetic people are not those who speak the most, but those whose silence says everything. Let's take a breath. We've walked through 6 simple words, but each one carries the weight of an entire philosophy.com. The art of being the still water that reflects reality clearly. It taught you that peace is not given by the world. It's built from within. Control, the discipline of directing your response, not your surroundings. It reminded you that strength doesn't come from domination, but from self-governance. Clarity, the courage to speak with honesty and intention. It showed that wisdom lives not in complexity, but in simplicity, presence, the act of being fully here, the rarest gift you can give to another human being. It proved that connection doesn't need performance, only attention. Boundaries, the quiet form of self-respect. It reminded you that saying no is not rejection. It's protection of what truly matters, silence, the summit of all Stoic practice. It revealed that sometimes the most powerful statement is none at all. Each word forms a pillar of a life that attracts without effort. Together, they create a structure of inner gravity, calm that draws, not chases, strength that inspires, not intimidates. When you live by these 6 words, you stop seeking validation and start emanating stability. You become someone people trust, not because you try to impress them, but because your energy tells the truth before your mouth ever does. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." That line captures everything we've explored here. You don't need to win arguments, out-talk critics, or prove your worth. You simply need to remain unmoved by the chaos around you, to live by your principles, not by reaction. Remember, calm leads to clarity, clarity to control, control to presence, presence to boundaries, and boundaries to the golden silence where real power lives. These 6 words are not rules, they're reminders. Reminders that the world doesn't decide your peace, you do. That attraction doesn't come from perfection, but from authenticity. And that your silence, when anchored in strength, speaks more loudly than any voice in the room. If these words reached you, even quietly, even subtly, it means a part of you was already ready for them, because wisdom doesn't arrive as a shout. It enters as a whisper, maybe as you listened. One of these 6 words stood out more than the others. Maybe it was calm, because you're tired of reacting to everything. Maybe it was boundaries, because you've given too much for too long. Or maybe it was silence, because you're learning that peace speaks louder than noise. Whichever word spoke to you, That's where your work begins. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Start with one moment, one breath before you respond, one boundary you hold, one truth you say clearly, one silence you protect. Every small act of awareness becomes a brick in the foundation of your strength. The Stoics never preached perfection. They practiced consistency. They didn't aim to be admired. They aimed to be aligned. And that's what this channel, StoicCraft, is here for, to help you build a calm, strong, and unshakable life, one principle at a time. If you found meaning in today's episode, share it with someone who might need it, because sometimes one idea at the right time can change how a person sees themselves or the world. And before you go, take a moment to reflect among the 6 words: calm, control, clarity, presence, boundaries, and silence. Which one do you need most in your life right now? Leave it in the comments below. Your answer might be the mirror someone else needs to see themselves more clearly. If you'd like to keep walking this path of learning, reflection, and self-mastery, subscribe to StoicCraft. Here, we don't chase motivation, we practice perspective. We don't promise instant peace, we build lasting strength. Remember, calm is contagious, control is liberating, and silence is undefeated. Carry these words into your next conversation, your next challenge, your next moment of doubt. Because the goal isn't to attract others, the goal is to become someone worth being drawn to, someone grounded, aware, and free. Thank you for watching, for reflecting, and for walking this path with me. Until next time, stay calm, stay aware, and as always, stay stoic.